Yo, how's it going, guys? It's Richie Unicorn Caller, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today is Monday. It is Martin Luther King Day, so I hope you guys are having a good day today. We are going to talk about a little bit of Wizard101 news, and also a little guild update. If you don't remember what happened in the Game Over video, we basically wiped out about 50 to 49 people in the guild as we were kind of approaching our villain arc. I wanted to show you guys a little update of the guild right now, and so far we have about 9 accounts that have been added, and these are the people I mentioned in the previous video. We got Wolf, the best housing decorator in the lands of the Spiral, and then we got Ryan over here, the Azoth miner, and then we have Kevin, the person that loves to do raids, specifically with Lord of Squall treasure cards, and we got a bunch of other people in here, mainly of the same accounts. If you're new to guilds, you can basically have all your accounts, well, not all your accounts, but one character in like your account. So this is what it looks like right here. You can see people on their different characters as well. So if these are characters on the same exact account, then it only takes about 1 account space. So you can basically have like technically a bunch of members of that same character, or just that same account basically. But yeah, that's a little update on the guild. The reason I did that, if I didn't make it clear in the previous video, oh no, I actually didn't mention it in the previous video, now that I think about it. Let's go on with the news first, because I know you guys want the news. There's a few things that are wrapping up today and in a couple of days. So this is the last day for double pet XP, alright? So if you have a membership, this is the last day for double pet XP, so level up your pets. This is the last day for it. We also have the Jewel Crafters bundle, which is available all the way through January 19th. Make sure you take advantage of that. The prestigious attire is available through today as well, so make sure you go check that out. Then the Death Decathlon is having its last day today, so make sure you also do that event in case you're trying to farm for some runes or trying to craft the Hands of Fate or whatever you want. But yeah, that's pretty much the last day for all of that stuff, and that's pretty much all the news there is for the day. I don't think they're gonna like tweet anything, but yeah, that's that. And yeah, I guess now we can talk. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Wiz news. Nothing much, just been chilling. I mean, I've been chilling on Wiz. I've been having a lot of fun doing some of the low level stuff, because I'm gonna be honest, Novus, I really don't like Novus, and I just don't like the way how the gear farming was launched and all that stuff. It is good that they are trying to increase the drop rates and the pity system. We talked about that in our other news video, so that's good. But again, I'm not the biggest fan of it, so I've just been doing questing in some other areas, just been chilling. Shout out to Valkyr Angel Dust, by the way. I was doing the cavity chamber run, and yeah, he saw me, so love hanging out with the fans and love doing team ups everywhere, especially in some of the older worlds. The older worlds are just so much fun to play with, and like I said, I'm just not the biggest fan of the newer worlds. This one was when I was in Mount Olympus. I was just helping out some random low levels, and they were saying, oh, nice spell, and you know, it's always nice to kind of show off all of these high level spells to some of these low levels, and you know, it really fascinates them, and it is nice helping some people out in some of these low level areas. I actually let them be the main attackers, and I was the main healer. But yeah, it was just so much fun, and it's honestly refreshing. It really is refreshing hanging out with low levels rather than max level wizards. I don't know what's with max level wizards. I feel like ever since the whole gear farming for Novus dropped, everybody's been getting a little antsy. Everybody's getting a little bored and tired and stuff like that. And that's kind of like why I did that whole guild thing. This was another thing I did. I was doing the Malistaire farming, or I was doing Darkmoor farming, and there was this glitch. We talked about this glitch. Basically, you just join the battle mid-turn phase, and it basically, for some reason, glitches out Malistaire's second form. There's been a lot of mixed comments about the drop pool, because some people said that the drop tables are kind of dependent on Malistaire's second form. So as this might be a quick and easy way to finally, you know, defeat Malistaire, you know, without his second form spawning in, it might actually be detrimental if you're not really getting the best loot drop rates. So again, I'm not really sure about that, but if you want, you can still do that glitch. It's still in the game. So, but yeah, just be warned though that the drop rates might be dependent on his second form, right? So yeah, have fun with that. Regardless though, it is fun doing Malistaire. Malistaire is super fun to do. I absolutely love Malistaire. And then that pretty much wraps that up, at least for that segment. And going back to guilds, I know you guys love me talking about guilds, but kind of the reason I did that because I kind of noticed that there's been a lot of burnout, whether it's novice gear forming, or it's doing the raids, or it's just playing the game in general. I noticed that with pretty much 90% of the guild members that a lot of people just weren't really interested in raiding, or there wasn't really enough flexibility, as we've already talked about the famous Lord of Skull treasure card, which, by the way, I was doing a Storm Titan run, right? I was doing a Storm Titan run, and guess what treasure card literally popped up? It's actually in one of my decks. This treasure card was dropped at Storm Titan Maelstrom in Imperia, and I have never laughed so hard in my life because this is really a deal breaker. All because of this card is a deal breaker for a lot of people, and it doesn't really add much flexibility because, you know, if you're someone that doesn't have this treasure card, then, you know, you might not have people comfortable with that, right? Now, obviously, you can use Sirens or a Stormlord, you know, that also works, but, yeah, this treasure card, this is a very funny treasure card lately, so, very funny treasure card, but, yeah, you can pay for Empowers for this, apparently. It's a really good card. Do whatever you want with it and have fun with that. It's actually kind of funny, though, how, you know, we kind of are gathering this guild together because, you know, we have the Fire Wizards. Now, we don't have any Storm Wizards that are willing to do the Vanguard role. And just because of this treasure card, it doesn't really add much flexibility, and we are trying to be very precise with the Vanguard roles, or just the raids in general. When you're trying to be very precise, it kind of limits the options down a lot, so you can't really go raiding if you don't have that best pet or the best statted gear that you can have, or even this treasure card, right? And I noticed that with the guild, that's kind of like I wiped it out because a lot of people seem disinterested in raids. A lot of people didn't even know what guilds are. A lot of people were either very inactive, or they were people that I knew that or definitely would not really contribute much to the guild. And, you know, as evil as it may seem, I think this was honestly really good because it kind of starts everybody else at like a clean slate. So, you know, you either want to raid or you don't. And then the people that, you know, kind of got tired of raids, well, you know, they don't have to join the guild anymore because, sadly, the way that Wizard101 designed guilds is that the raids are basically guild locked. So you have to join a guild in order to actually go into a raid. Like, in order to get access to that raid battle gate, you have to join a guild. Now, you can rejoin the same guild without having to have that 2-week cooldown, but if you did want to join another guild, then you would be placed on that 2-week cooldown unless you had a character on that same account that is already associated to that guild. And I know it sounds very confusing at first, but, you know, once you fiddle around with it, you know, a little bit, it's actually quite easy. You can get around the 2-week cooldown in no time, as long as you have multiple characters and all that fun stuff. But yeah, for the most part, we'll be taking a raid application. Well, I'll be taking raid applications. So if you did potentially wanted to raid, you would just have to say some basic stuff like, oh, you know, what level wizard are you? Like, oh, like, what's your pierce? Oh, what's your health? You know, stuff like that. And, you know, obviously, like I said, for the Vanguard role, the Vanguard team is very strict on who joins them. So let's say if you're like 11-100, automatically, if you're a low level, you can't really go into the combat roles of the raids because those enemies do have a lot of resist, so you're gonna have to stack up on a lot of pierce, and not only that, but just the latest gear and a whole bunch of damage. So here, let me show you the raid application of what it looks like, and we've done this before, and so I'm just bringing it back all over again just to see whoever would be interested, because that's the last time I do like a raid like a guild purge. Yeah, your wizard name, your Discord name, your wizard score and level, your wizard stats. Have you ever raided before? If not, that's fine. We've gotten many people raid wins before, and that's kind of the only reason why I want to go raiding, is just to get other people wins. Like, I don't even care about how many losers we take. I don't care about the gear because I know I'm not really going to get much of the life gear. Only thing I care about is getting people wins, being flexible, trying to work around everybody's schedules and time zones and stuff like that. And just going into the raid in general and getting those cantrip treasure cards. I love those cantrip treasure cards. And, you know, all this other stuff. What's your cantrip level? What's your desired role? Blah, blah, blah. And if you don't know, the raids will stay open for 3 hours. So if you have a raid gate, that raid gate will basically stay open for 3 hours. So are you willing to commit for 3 full hours of Wizard101 raids? A lot of people might not have that type of endurance, and after all the raiding we've done, it can become very exhausting. Even for me, when I'm raiding, like for 3 hours or more, like I'll literally shut off my brain. Like my brain would literally just shut off, and I will literally just be like an automatic machine giving orders and stuff like that. And honestly, it can become boring. It really can become boring. But this is basically what the battle island looks like. You have up to 3 raid gates, and again, each raid gate will stay open for 3 hours. So this one is 3 hours, this one is 3 hours, and this one is also 3 hours. So if you really wanted to join like a hardcore guild, which is not this one, this is the fun guild, this is not the hardcore guild, but if you did have 3 of your raid gates open, then in a single day you could do 9-hour raids, which I'm not really sure if you would want to do that. But what we wanted to do, or at least what some people wanted to do, it basically raid the very next day. So maybe we would do this raid gate today, and then maybe the next day somebody else would want to raid again, and then maybe the very next day somebody would want to raid again. Like back-to-back raids each day. But sadly, that's not really the plan for a lot of people, because you have a lot of people that are going back to school, that are going back to work, you know, just that are off their vacation. And when you're doing Wiz for 3 hours, and specifically you have to be coordinated and you have to talk, well, you don't really have to talk, but you have to listen, it can become very exhausting, and you can get burned out a lot. Like, you can really get burned out. Alright, I ask everybody to take a break from Wiz, because I feel like a lot of people put too much time and energy in a video game, and then they get extremely bored out, and then they start hating the game even more, which, to be fair, I understand, because the whole Novus thing was, we don't talk about Novus, but that was a whole thing. But then you also gotta talk about raids and stuff like that, and, you know, it's a very big process, you know, and that's kind of like why I did what I did and just purged everybody, so I can see, like, alright, well, who's really tired of this guild update, and then who actually wants to commit and try and do a couple of raids, you know? So that's why I did what I did, and I'm sure there'll probably be other guilds that might do a similar thing. Like, you know, if they see you not online in like a couple of weeks, they might give you the boot, or if you're not really contributing to the guild, they might also give you the boot. You really have to find like a very flexible and very fun guild to do that with. And like I said, sadly, it's just the way that they designed guilds, and I have a lot riding on the spring update, and I really crossing my fingers. I'm really hoping we get more guild slots. I'm gonna bring this tweet up real quick because I had this tweet in my bookmarks, but we gotta get more guild space. All right, 50 is just, it's not enough. 50 is just not enough. Let me search this up real quick. But again, we gotta wait for the spring update. I think the spring update is gonna be a make or break for a lot of people because, you know, with the new world and the new gear farming, it really does annoy people, and I feel like they're kind of pushing away some of the old players, and they're also trying to bring in new players. But at the same time, it's really hard to kind of do both. You know, if you're pushing away old players, then, you know, you're definitely doing something wrong. So hopefully in the future, or, you know, whenever they want to update or patch the game, they can definitely look into that, because there is a lot of like quality of life things that they can do. And Zayfa made a awesome YouTube video of 10 things that we want to see in 2023. So definitely, I'll leave that linked in the top pinned comment so you can watch that. But here is the tweet I made a while back. Here it is. No, not that one. That's just the raid application. Here it is. No, wait. I messed it up. No! Alright, I can't show it because I messed it all up, but yeah, it's a really cool list of like all the guilds and all the stuff that has had. Oh, wait, I fixed it. I'm big brain. Alright, here it is. Basically, these are some of the guild / clan sizes in video games. This is just like a rough copy. You know, I just Googled this, and, you know, some of this information might not be the most accurate. I don't even think Ashes of Creation even came out yet. I literally just Googled it. But Final Fantasy, XIV, 512, Guild Wars 2, 100... Honkai Impact the Third, 100+ players, World of Warcraft, like up to 1,000 apparently. But you'll notice that all of these are at least up to 100. Then Wizard101 just at this 50, just this very small 50 for no reason. I don't know why. I even made a part 2 of this. Look at this. No, not my profile. Go back over here. We got more. Warframe got a lot of players in the guild, and the list just goes on and on. You know, I play a lot of these video games, and I'm at Wizard101 over here, and it's automatically capped to 50. So again, really hoping that in the spring update, they really look into giving us some more guild improvements or some more guild features. And if you don't know, the raids in Wizard101 take 12 players to go into the Wizard101 raid. Alright, that might be a lot for a few people, but yes, it does take 12 people to really go into the raid and, you know, do all that stuff. So again, it's a big process, and that's why I did what I did with the guild. And that's why I'm sure a bunch of other people don't even have their own guilds, because it is a really big responsibility to try and get your guild to raid or not. So again, hopefully in the spring, or whatever happens in the spring, we'll see what happens. This will probably be like my last discussion video, because honestly, I'm sure you guys are tired of me rambling, and I'm tired of myself rambling. And hopefully in the spring we get some improvements, or whatever happens in the future years of this game. But yeah, I've been having fun doing lower level stuff, and if you ever see me around the spiral, make sure to say hi. My name is Richard Unicorn Caller. I will see you guys later. Have a great Monday, and until then, I will see you guys later. Peace out.